This is Wes S. I was trying to do a fishing video, but it rained 2.5 inches last night, and the creek is really muddy. So they're probably eating, they're just not seeing what I'm presenting. It occurred to me to show y'all how to do a wet weather fire, or attempt to do a wet weather fire. One of the things you can look for tinder, because in Texas we don't have, well, my part of Texas we get rain, but we don't have a lot of birch bark or anything like that. We do have some shinnery and some cedar and stuff, which makes it easier because you can get a hold of the inner bark or whatever. If you can find a dry spot, you've got something pretty good. Here down by San Antonio, this ragweed grows all over the place. That is a beautiful spot. This stuff is actually real pithy on the inside, but it's got a hard outer shell. If you can find one that's standing up, this is a dead ragweed. The very top is going to be the first thing to dry out after a rain. It's still wet down here. I mean, it's not breaking, it's folding. This stuff up here is breaking. So step one in this process would be go to the very top, as high as you can get. You can see the middle, it just bent over, it didn't break. You want the ones that'll break off in your hand. And you may have to find, because this is wet weather, you may have to find several plants that are doing this. And when I go for my twigs, I will not be looking on the ground. I will be looking for dead twigs still in the tree on a live tree, or one that has already been, because we've had 2 hours of sun, one that a tree that's got still has the tiny branches or the tiny limbs that's been exposed to the sun. It's still going to be wet, but it's going to be drier than anything I find on the ground. The stuff on the ground is not drying out yet. This stuff is. And this, after you get it, you need to put it somewhere where you can keep it reasonably dry. And remember, we got to collect a lot more. Also got to find me a piece of flint, because I'm not going to cheat and use a cigarette lighter. Under a tree, sheltered from the rain, in the sun. The sun's coming from over there. So this stuff has been, these little twigs have been in the sun the longest. They're high enough up off the ground, they didn't catch the dew. They're far enough away from the greenery. They should be the driest thing, or some of the driest stuff out here. And it snaps like a mat. So okay, important to note, your tinder bundle is important because that's where you're going to get your initial flame. This is what's going to sustain the flame long enough to get the stuff that's big as your pinky and then the big as your thumb going. I mean, this stuff is soaking wet. I mean, this isn't the first time it's rained here in the last week. But it rained a lot yesterday. That's why I'm walking around the ranch headquarters, because I can't go anywhere because it's muddy. So anyway, I'm gonna collect a lot more of these. There's a few more dead trees here and there, and I haven't found enough tinder yet. Oh, there's one right in front of you and y'all didn't even see it. Oh, this is good stuff. This is broomweed. But got some more. Found enough. This stuff's been in the sun probably longer than any of the rest of it. So, be back with the fire in a bit. And another example. This is a good one. I don't want to carry the wood this far to where I'm going, but this has been in the sun under a protected tree, and see it breaks. That's the key. That one didn't break, but it's breaking, it's not bending. This isn't the driest one, but it'll work. There we go. The further I walk into these trees looking for a place to do this fire, the harder it's going to be to do this fire. Your best friend on a wet fire is the sun when it comes out. It dries things out for you. You'll probably fit and get an eyeball of the sunshine. Just looking for a place that ain't growed all the way up with stickers. And plus, I'm checking the road. There we go, I see a place up here. Anyway, you're trying to find dry. So look for an open, like a meadow or something like that, or the top of the hill. You're going to have a harder time down in the valley finding dry stuff. Water goes downhill. So don't go downhill. Go uphill. I believe this will do just fine. I see some more twigs hanging around and stuff. I see that's the southeast side of that tree. Plenty of twigs hanging in it. You want to see? Or just let me talk about it. And got a little clearing in there in the shade. Make my fire over there. Have a cup of coffee. There's some wood right there. See? Do you see it? It's right there. See that sun hitting that tree? See all them dead twigs sticking out of it? In theory, I'm set. It's real important to remember something. Always process your stuff and get it ready for the fire before you start the fire. That is especially true when you're dealing with wet conditions. A lot of times in wet conditions, you're only going to get one shot at the fire. And if you mess it up, then you're all the way back to zero. If you're, you catch a break in the storms, you gather all the stuff up, you skip a step, you don't have everything broke down into burning size and everything, you don't have everything ready to go on the fire, or you rush it and just dump everything on the fire, and you lose it, and then it starts raining again. So do it right the first time. Crunch up make your bird nest, get it right. But honestly, that's the last thing you need to do. You need to have all of your twigs, all of your sticks, everything ready to go before you ever worry about the bundle. Okay? Show you what I'm talking about. Okay, let me show you all what I'm talking about. You just you got to take and break all of the little twigs off of the bigger twigs and stack them in a different place. Anything the size of a number 2 pencil, for those of you who know what a number 2 pencil is, goes in a different stack than the stuff that's the size of a match. You match size sticks, and then you have pencil size sticks. If you wonder if it's a pencil or a match, it's a pencil. Man, this stuff's got serious thornage. Serious thornage. See, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding for you people. And of course, everything I found that was dry is thorn bushes. Every one of these little twigs I'm snapping off is actually a thorn. But this really is, I mean, this is the important part of this. You want to get all of this stuff. See how long it's taking? If I had an ember going right here right now, or my little fluff ball was lit and burning, I wouldn't have the material to put on it while I had a sustained flame. I'd be spending all my flame trying to get the twigs and everything ready. Because this stuff, I mean, even though it's drier than the other stuff around me, it's still not dry. I still have to, it still needs the flame from the little stuff to get it going. Right now, I'm really at a point where I want some coffee. And that's honestly all I'm trying to do. I'm building a fire so I can heat this up full of water and make some instant coffee. The ground is soaking wet. So here we go. We are going to use char cloth and steel. I carry little ferrocerium rods with a magnesium block on it because it just makes sense to. This would make this fire actually reasonably easy. Ooh, that's purely accidental. This would help too. This is a paper towel from me eating breakfast. Somewhere in one of these pockets is a steel. There it is. If y'all remember or not, here's my ragweed. The trick is to do all this without it getting wet from the ground. Now I've actually collected a lot of material. This is broomweed and ragweed. Just oh, that's a stick. Oh, that. Right. And this is as close to a bird nest as I'm going to get if I want to use dry stuff. Put this down on this, my little blankie over here. Y'all can't really see it. Hold on, let me turn y'all a little bit. Put my tinder bundle, is what we'll call it. And yes, I actually carry this silly thing in my pocket all the time. If I have it, I can use it. If I don't have it, I can't use it. It's just a metal snuff can. And you never know which way is going to work better, top or bottom. Just pick one and go with it for the first try. I just got my chart cloth wet. This ain't the best chart cloth in the world either, so. It actually got wet yesterday. Pretty wet actually. See me? I'll still see me. Can't rush it. And there we have fire. Well, we'll see if we have fire. This is not a success yet. Until I'm drinking hot coffee, I didn't do this. It's pretty safe to say that I'm going to have some hot coffee. There you go, folks. But that was possible because I thought about this fire weeks ago and made char cloth. Made sure I had a piece of flint in my kit. This coffee, I can have this coffee because when I left to go on this hike, I made sure I brought water. You got any sense at all and you leave to go on a hike or an extended walk, whatever you want to call it. You know, this isn't just for survival games. This isn't, you know, practicing for the apocalypse. This is knowing stuff that if, you know, the hurricane washes me off the boat and I'll wind up on a deserted island, I'll be okay. Or if I lose my bearings, if I get too hot and forget which way I walked into the park, I might be able to hang out and do what I need to do to be myself when they find me and get me back to my family. These are important skills. It's not the hardest thing in the world to learn either. There's an army of insect eggs on that. Let me help the world out. Yep, that's getting plenty hot. We'll have hot coffee here in no time. I think it looks cool when it boils off the side like that. Makes a little riplets. I worked my tail off for a solid 35 minutes just so I could make a cup of hot water. Well, we made a wet fire. Well, we made a fire in wet conditions anyway. At least it wasn't raining. That'd have been a lot harder if it had been raining. That's good coffee. Thank y'all for watching the video. I really hope that it helped you. I want people to get out and enjoy themselves. I want them to have fun. I want them to be safe when they're exploring the outdoors. I want them to stand the best chance they got of getting in. Carry water with you. Whether, it doesn't matter whether you smoke or not. Carry some way to make a fire with you. Don't walk into the desert or the jungle with nothing on you but half a bottle of water, a sun visor, and a t-shirt and shorts. Simple. Anyway, thank y'all for watching the video. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. If you liked it, subscribe. If you thought it would help somebody, share it. Come back for more stuff. Give me one of them thumbs up things or whatever. Feel free to comment, ask questions. That's what the stuff's down there for. Alright? God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Don't die. I gotta find a way to get to the fishing. An after note, the black stuff down in there, that's some of the stuff that didn't burn all the way up. If you can get that out of there and keep it someplace dry, that works just as good as char cloth. Well, nearly as good as char cloth.